Hey, welcome to the 1L Hoops Happy Hour. Justin Jarrett with Coach Fish and Rob Benson in the darkness. We're getting a little bit of a late start. If anyone will believe it, Rob had some technical difficulties getting on with us tonight, but Fish and I got a good laugh out of it nonetheless. So we're ready to roll though, and we got Kyle Bennett backstage ready to talk hoops with us. His May River Sharks still undefeated after holding off Bluffton in the championship game of the John Drafts BC Classic. And Fish and I got to sit together courtside for a little while during that one and watch that game. So we'll have a lot to talk about from that tournament, as well as the Seahawk Holiday Classic, where the Seahawks gave a valiant effort today, went to overtime with a really good team out of Florida, and just came up short. So, and Fish, you were at that one as well. So, and so was Coach Bennett scouting out the Seahawks. So, we'll break all that down. We'll just kind of get through some odds and ends. Rob, again, has segment ideas that may or may not come to fruition, depending on how many times we bounce off the subject. But welcome to the show, powered by the One Lowco Foundation and Lowco Sports and 1L Basketball. And fellas, it's been a fun weekend. We had a nice kickoff to the holiday season. Next week we have, or later this week, I guess, we have the Bluffton Bobcat Classic with a little more local flavor, and I think there'll be a lot of competitive games. Maybe not the highest caliber of basketball necessarily, but some competitive games. But it's been a fun weekend of just kind of getting in the gyms and checking stuff out.
Yeah, it's been a fun week, man. It's been a full week, a lot of games, a lot of competitive games. I've been excited to be back in the gym watching all these teams play some teams they normally don't, some teams I haven't seen. So yeah, it's been a good week.
Robbie, how you doing over there, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. After all my technical difficulties, I'm back in it and ready to get going here. But yeah, definitely a more active week after sort of a lull in scheduling last week. Certainly aided by certainly Christmas tournaments, different versions of those tournaments than have existed in previous years. I think the tournaments, other than the Seahawk Classic, which still seems to pull in a squad or two, right? They're always pulling
Yeah.
someone from Tennessee or Kentucky who wipes up, everyone else. But for the most part, it seems like those have been reined in a little bit and are a little more competitive friendly for the local squads, being that they're a little down right now. But it was interesting to see Battery Creek girls get the W there. So that's
Yeah. Over Hilton
one,
Head.
yeah, one squad that is wiped off of, because I think going into Christmas, we're looking at like an all-time high of 4 or 5 squads that don't have wins, right?
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
yeah, so that's one less one. So that's good.
Yeah. Tough to keep the
Um,
commitment over the holidays when you haven't gotten that dub yet.
y-
But yeah,
yeah,
they got off the schneid, so good for them. Didn't
yeah, I
see that
think
one
so.
coming, honestly.
No, there's a
But
couple other tournaments too coming up that I think the Colleton Prep has a tournament right after the
yeah,
holidays.
I've got to track down a
Warhawk
bracket for that one.
Invitational, my
I think
friends.
it's usually called the IP Builders Holiday Classic, if I'm not
That's
mistaken, or
that's
Holiday
that's
Tournament, one or the other.
exactly what it was
IP
last year.
Builders,
Yeah.
the longtime presenting sponsor of that one. So, but no, I mean, one of the teams, you talk about teams without a win. We got one without a loss going into Christmas with the May River boys, and we got Coach Kyle Bennett with us. So let's get him in here and talk hoops on the 1L Hoops Happy Hour. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Congratulations on a good win over Bluffton the other night. I know you probably lost sleep over it nonetheless because it got close and even got into overtime there. And you guys had to grind it out after having a pretty healthy lead at halftime. But you have to be pleased with where you are, not only this season, but just in you're just in year 2 here, right? And you got this thing cooking. You got a ninth grade team, a JV, and a varsity, and a lot of the things that we talked about when you got hired are starting to come to fruition pretty quickly.
Yeah, when we first took over, I thought one of the things that I was really disappointed to see down here was no freshman team. So when you had JV, and, you got to pick, five sophomores and 5 or 6 sophomores, excuse me. Sure, you're making about 11 kids for your JV team. You're really missing out on some freshmen you just don't know about. And we played. I think our freshmen played 6 games or 6-0. Now they played JV teams, but they're 6-0, and we got 11 guys on that team that are again getting all playing time, which is nice. And the JV team is mixed of a couple freshmen that play up, and then some sophomores. We even got a couple of juniors. I thought last year, really late in the year, middle of late in the year, we realized we had 13 guys on our varsity, but you had about 4 or 5 of those juniors that didn't get a ton of playing time, if any. And it's just hard to keep them motivated and play. So we came with this idea to try to do this year, and it seems to be paying off and going to have benefits down the road for us, we hope.
Fellas, I know you're the big hoop heads here, and I know you guys want to pick Coach's brain, but Coach, coming in from Kentucky, you and I talked a lot about when you first came in and just kind of trying to instill the kind of basketball that you grew up on here in the Low Country. But how do you feel like that's going so far? It seems like you've got great buy-in over there.
Yeah, the kids work their tails off, man. I'm going to be honest. They've done everything we could ask. They work on fundamentals the first 25, 30 minutes of every practice, every workout. Last year, when I first got the job, we didn't play any summer games. We just we did nothing but fundamental work for hour and a half, 2 hours a day. But this year, we were able to play about 20 summer games, which helped to get cohesion for the team. And again, working our fundamentals too. But the kids that have bought into it, playing off 2 feet, doing basic stuff that I always tell them, this stuff you might see in middle school, but it's stuff we do every day in practice, playing off 2 feet. Kyrie Irving finishes off 2 feet, stepping across, just basic stuff that they've kind of accepted, and they've done a really good job with it. They've really worked on their shooting. I think that's another thing. We spend about 30 minutes every day shooting the basketball. It pays off, except for in the overtime against Bluffton, where we went 2 of 12 from the free throw line in overtime, but still won, which is kind of ironic. But other than that, we've shot the ball real well this year, and again, just got a good group of kids that have just bought into what we want to try and do on both ends of the court. And you couldn't ask for a nicer group of men to coach.
Coach, quick question for you.
Hmm?
Coming into the season, you had to replace a lot in terms of guard play
Yeah.
out of the backcourt last year and all that sort of stuff. How did you view the squad and its depth and all that going into the year? Did you know that because it doesn't look like there's been any appreciable drop off, and if anything, it's a more cohesive unit early in the year. I think the scheduling early, the first bunch of games didn't test you guys, but it's now getting to the point where you're just kind of rolling everyone you're up against, and/or nip and tuck versus Bluffton, but certainly great win versus Battery Creek. So, how do you? Is it playing out the way you thought it would? Or are you getting better performances from some of the kids than you thought you would get? Less, growing pains. How's it going so far in your eyes?
Again, we had return. Again, we thought we were going to return Andrew Johnson, one of our better scorers from last year. Averaged about 10 a game. We lost 4 seniors that were all starters also with Andrew. But that football injury, Andrew hasn't played this year and is not going to be able to because he's going to have some surgery on his back. So again, we went into this year thinking, we're only returning like 9 points off of our what we had last year. So we weren't sure what we were going to get, but this summer really helped playing those 20 extra games. And again, I cannot tell you how much buy-in we had from our kids. I mean, it wasn't like we'd have, some kids on vacation or missing these 3 guys one day. We always had, 15 to 20 guys every day for every one of those games show up and want to play and get better. And that helped us lead into it. And last year, I thought that we were throwing so much offense and defensive terminology and just the fundamentals that we want to work on at our guys at such a frantic pace once they got back from football that, we only put in like 10%, 50% of the offense last year. Now we're able to do those kind of things so much easier because it's the second year and those guys have at least seen it. I wasn't sure. I hate to say this. I thought this year we had better basketball players than what we had last year. Coming into this season. Last year I had better athletes, stronger guys. Those football guys were just winners. They played their tails off for me. But I thought coming into this year, if we stayed healthy, we had guys that were a little bit better fundamentally at basketball. And I thought that could show out as the year went on. But I thought we'd lost some of that mental and physical toughness, though, which this group has really rose to the occasion. And I really given them all the benefits of what they've done. They've been able to play through a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of injuries right now. We're missing our second leading scorer. Luke McMahon's missed the last 4. Just found out today it's a stress fracture on MRI, so he's probably out for the season. So again, we've got our sophomore Tyler Ritzmiller also out with a leg injury. He's out for another 2 or 3 weeks. So we've gone through the gamut, you could say, in injuries. But we still have overcome, and they've really met the challenge and done a good job. We kind of set the schedule up. We thought the first 3 games at the Whale Branch at the Earl Campbell were just preseason scrimmages from my Kentucky days. They said that set schedule can't start till December 1st. I thought they were just scrimmages. So we signed up for it, then realized very quickly that they were actually official games. So we kind of had to scramble back. But we played those like scrimmages and played a bunch of guys. And I think we're better for it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way to approach those things, honestly. They for all intents and purposes, they are scrimmages.
Yes, they are.
I mean, you need to win, I guess, but for RPI or whatever. But at that stage in the season, you get a lot more out of it by playing people and seeing what you got than going to play to win. But Coach Fish, what you got, man? You got to see that Bluffton game from courtside.
Oh yeah, I mean, I enjoy how you guys play. I mean, I'm kind of the more front one, I guess, and obviously, I mean, looking at teams in Kentucky, I've played teams from there. Obviously, the talent isn't necessarily the greatest in this area, but with some of your vision for your program starting to come to fruition, how often do you talk to like other coaches in the area to try to help like galvanize like just the entire area? Because I mean, I know we're desperate for that.
Truthfully, man, that like Coach Gabriel Bluffton and me, we text and talk about. We talk a lot because again, we both come from outside the state, and we see different stuff, and we also talk about things that we see that we hope that others will do. I'm going to be honest. Besides, if you take away the regional games last year, I'm not sure how many teams scouted us or how many teams watch Huddle.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent 6 hours today watching Huddle film on our regional opponents, just watching Bishop England, watching Hilton Head. I watched Colleton County on tape. I've already got some other tapes that I want to watch, but I mean, we've already put our scouting reports together for teams that we're going to play in a couple of weeks, and we'll watch them again and more tape as it gets closer. But I'm not sure. Like we would run, out of bounds baseline out of bounds plays, and it was like, teams just didn't scout or didn't do a very good job of telling their kids what they were going to do. And that's just something I took for granted that everybody did. My kids get a 3 or 4 page scouting report for every team we play. I don't know if
I can
everybody does
attest.
that. Yeah, I mean it's in
Somebody
depth.
from our team, somebody found one of your scouting reports for
I don't know. That's
Hardyville,
good. I don't like to hear that. But
and they brought it to our principal, and he said, "You see what they're doing over there? Yeah,
we kind of again we get in depth, tell what kids can't do individually, what the team does offensively. We have their sets down of what they want to do. I mean, we treat it as we always say going to war, man. We treat it as us do everything we can to get out there and play and give our kids the best opportunity to win. And they're in depth, and we try to do that. I talked to the other coaches in the area. Coach Huff's been awesome to me from at Buford. He's been very good to me and has helped me with knowing other coaches. And it's kind of hard getting film when you're kind of the new guy on the block and talking to guys, but they've been really, really nice and have really helped me kind of learn from who I can get stuff from, who I can't, and it's been a good process for all of them.
And speaking to your team too, man, KJ Ford obviously was huge in that championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I think what stands out about your squad more than most is that your guys just watching it have specific roles and they shine in their roles.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk about how important it is to help identify these kids? Like, 'cause I talk about all the time in baseball, my left fielder's not mad he's not pitching. I don't have a left guard mad he's not throwing passes. But in our sport, things get kind of kind of blurred sometimes,
I understand.
Talk about
It's hard for kids, especially high school kids, to accept roles, and we always tell kids, we want them to be part of something bigger than themselves.
amen."
And we try and instill that. I mean, that probably goes on in every practice. We make that comment. Again, we want to the group is more important than the individual. We have certain rules for each of our guys that come in off the bench or guys that start. We have guys that we designate as our shooters, and that's what we want them to do. We have guys that are defenders. That's what you want to do. If you go in the game and you take a wild-looking 3 or out of drive to the basket, you're not going to play. I mean, they know that. They know that they're going to do what we want to do. No matter we're up 20, down 20, or what's happening, they're going to do what we want within the offense. Now, if they can prove that they can do those other things in practice and over the summer and during the open season, more power to them. But we want the guys that I always make the comment that there's two sets of guys on offense. There's guys that carry the piano and guys who play the piano. The guys that play the piano, we want to take the shots. The guy that carry the piano is the guy setting screens. The guys getting on the offensive glass and doing those kind of things. So we specify rules of what we want from them, and the kids have accepted them. And like KJ Ford, he's got the green light to do what he wants. We've got Luke Albright, about a 6'5" kid who's came off the bench last year, got hurt late in the year. But I mean, he's got the green light to shoot the ball from anywhere, and he's open. And I wouldn't bat an eye. Luke McMahon, who just got hurt the same way. Caleb Cannon's a great shooter, but again, he's more of a perimeter guy. He's not going to put the ball on the floor very much. So everybody's got a set rule of when they come in, what they're supposed to do, and they've accepted that. Now, the hard part is keeping them to accept it when you have this success and they want to expand their rules. But that's what the bench is for, and that's what practice is for, and everything else. And they've done a good job accepting to this point, and I think they will. I think that they've bought into, trusting us, the coaching staff, enough to put them in those roles.
Winning cures most things too. I mean, winning feels good, and it's real hard to be upset when you're winning. So, it feels extra selfish when you're upset after a win about your role. But no, you've done a great job with that, and that is a hard thing in this day and age. But kids got to understand that, hey, we need a guy who gives us 5 rebounds,
Exactly.
5 fouls, and doesn't turn the ball over. Like,
I mean,
that will help us win games.
Exactly.
I promise.
I always tell my big guys coming off the bench, as long as you guys can catch the ball top of the key and reverse the ball from side to side and rebound, defend, you can play. If you can't do those 3 things, you're never going to play. I mean, it's very simple. It's very easy. And, I always say tape doesn't lie. If you watch tape, and which we watch a lot, if you can't do those 3 things as a big off the bench for me, you're just not going to play. It's just that simple. And it's also nice that we have the JV team now. If guys aren't playing well at the varsity, we can get them some minutes somewhere else. And that's another easy thing for us to do now. So it makes it easy. Now, like you saw us when against Bluffton, like they didn't guard Duran, past the 8-foot line. And again, but he knows his role is not to shoot the ball out there, is to reverse the ball and do things. So I know he doesn't think he played a good game. He had 14 points and 8 or 9 rebounds, but he knows his role's out there shooting threes. But if that's Luke Albright or one of those other bigs, that's probably good shots for him. But again, they know the rule, they bought into it, and it makes for a nice experience when they play.
Yeah, and he's kind of a junkyard dog in there. I mean,
yes, he is, man.
He's physical, he's athletic, he gets after it.
He's 6'1", 6'2", and he's we didn't press that game, and we press a lot usually, but it was a 3rd straight game. We've got the injuries, our rotations are kind of down, so we just went to half court man that game. But he's at his best when we can pick up, run and jump full court. He's one of the guys jumping, and he battles inside. He's only about 6'1", 6'2", but he lays it on the lines. Averages about like 6 or 7 rebounds a game. Luke
he was
Albright
terrific against Battery Creek.
He was very good against. Yeah. He was very good, and he was able to. He gets the tough assignment guarding too. He always guards the best offensive big, which against Battery Creek 10. I can't think of his name.
Cox. Ethan Cox.
I mean, he's a heck of a player, man. And he actually got in him and took him out of the game, I thought, early, and got them disinterested because of we kind of punched them in the face right at the bat, and they took a while for them to get used to our defensive intensity, I think. And
they were.
Him and KJ.
They were a little manic early.
Yes.
But you got to check out Hilton Head today, right? I mean, actually, it looks like this. Did you get out there?
I was going. I did not make it over. I was going, and I had I went out to my car, and I had a dead battery. So instead, I went to I had to go to Walmart and get a battery and exchange a battery. So I literally did not. But I have seen him on tape.
Yeah. Well, they played an exceptional game today. Fish was over there. But we've been talking, for weeks now, and I don't think anything's a whole lot more settled than it had been as far as the region goes. I mean, Bluffton, May River, Hilton Head seem like they're all right there. Bishop England, I'm sure, is in that same tier. And Colleton has knocked a couple people off too. So looks like it's going to be a free-for-all out there.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, I want to say Hilton Head Island, I think they graduated like 10 guys last year. And I was thinking they'd be a little bit down. I know they had Wright, the point guard, about 6'2", 6'3" back, and they had the sophomore, the big sophomore, who's a really talented player.
Right. Yes.
And I saw him on tape as a freshman, also, or as a eighth grader play. And like I said, I knew they had those two back, but I was not expecting them to be as good as they are. They got 3 shooters around them. They shoot the ball real well. They play extremely hard. I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they are. I was very impressed watching them in that Wando game and another game of how hard they play and how well they play.
Apparently they got a new guy.
They
Oh, there you go.
Venezuelan point
They got a
guard.
Venezuelan guard.
There you go.
Speaks no English, but to me, he really changed that team. He
Oh, they're
changed the
good.
team a lot. He's probably like 5'7", super high motor, and he allows Tajay to play off the ball.
That
So I think
helps.
Tajay's a little more effective off the
Yeah,
ball.
that'll help a lot because again, he's a heck of a scorer, I think, and having to make him bring the ball to the court, we were able to kind of wear them down last year because of that. And I thought they were very talented offensively last year with the shooters they had and the athletes they had. You go Bluffton's going to be great. Skinner's just an amazing player for Bluffton. I think they'll come into their own. They got the Ethan Huff kid that came from Christian. Is a heck of a scorer. He didn't shoot the ball well against us, but we tried not to leave him or give him space. But they got nice pieces, and
Well, and then Malcolm Gordon is a problem.
Oh, he played great.
Man.
Yeah,
he
played
just
great.
such an athlete.
Is that number 5?
Yeah.
Okay,
he
I'm
played a
not good on
tremendous
names.
game.
I'm more on numbers.
Yeah, he played a tremendous game.
Yes, he played great against us, and I thought he played great the entire tournament. Actually,
I did
that he
too.
came back. He's athletic. He's strong. This summer we played him 2 or 3 times, and he's a tough matchup for us because he's so athletic and so strong, and he finishes around the rim. But again, they're going to be, they got to get used to losing their 2 bigs, but they're going to be a lot better once they get used to that. And again, anytime the game comes on the line, you got one of the best players in the Low Country, if not the best player, Lower State, and Harry. I mean, he's just a heck of a basketball player on both ends of the court.
Yeah, he went vintage Dirty Harry and sent you to overtime.
Oh, I know. There only 3 they hit, and they hit that. I mean, we had a foul to give, but 23 seconds. I didn't want to foul way too early, but thinking back, man, I maybe wish I did. But he's just he's a difference maker without a doubt. Definitely a difference maker. And then I think Bishop England, they got a freshman and sophomore averaging about 15 and 12, and there's 2 bigs. The quarterback for the football team about 6'5", 6'6", the redhead, and they're going to be. I got a feeling they're going to be good. So I think all 4 of us. I think you probably put them in a cup and just kind of see who comes out. But you got 4 good teams. Buford, Coach Huff always does a good job, and Colleton County has that little 2-3 matchup that we beat them at our place by 1 and lost to them by 1 at their place. So they've got our number. So
I think great gym up there too.
Oh man, it was a great environment. We had chances. I missed a bunch of free throws down the stretch in that game too. But I think our region is going to be up for grabs. I think we're in the mix, of course, but I think any given night, I think anybody in the region can beat anybody else, and that'll be good.
Yeah, Coach got some love for you from state championship coach Ashley Powell. Says you're the man. Been a great addition to May River. Great man.
Actually, he's got to say that because he's on the hiring committee that hired me, so he's got to kind of chime in. They're pounding everybody in wrestling. I think he wanted to go to 5A to have to wrestle in 5A because they're so dominant in 4A right now.
Yeah, he wanted a piece of East Side, right?
Exactly. He wanted everybody. He wants to bring on all comers.
My son's a JV 126 in that program.
Okay,
so
there you go.
That's a school of hard knocks right now.
You cannot ask for a better person or a better coach than Coach Powell. He's a phenomenal guy. Phenomenal guy. But we came in, we won we won that tournament. So both us and the wrestling team got back at the same time, and we had the trophy that we got from Battery Creek, and they walked in with like a 5-foot trophy. At the same time that we did off of their bus from getting in. It's like, man, we kind of got shafted, I think. Well, no, that didn't seem right. But he's a phenomenal guy.
Yeah, man. What else you guys got for Coach Bennett?
No, hey, are y'all playing over the break?
No, we are completely off. We practice tomorrow morning early, and we get a couple days off for over the holidays, and we'll practice all but maybe I think we're off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and 1 Sunday. We practice, and we come back. We play an Australian team, Baglawana, on January the 2nd. That's our first game back, so we got 2 weeks off. We played last year in the Bluffton tournament, and then I just felt that we had we played the Battery Creek tournament, then we went straight into the Bluffton tournament. And I kind of wanted to give the guys, again, coming in as a first-year guy, I didn't realize how transient all our players are, and they need to get away. We got some kids from Michigan, from here, from there, that need a couple days to get away. And last year it put us in a kind of a bind with parents and kids, and I want to kind of get away from that this year. So we are completely off from Saturday's game. We don't play again until the Friday, the January 2nd. So it'll be nice. You guys should come out to that game. I think they got a kid that made the 18 and under Australian national team on that squad. So he should be pretty. They should be pretty good.
Oh wow!
All right,
I'll be out there.
very cool. Robbie, you got anything?
Well, I was just going to say you can certainly see why the teams that are having success in the area and in the region in particular are having success right now. Because, I mean, that was the second week in a row we've had a coach on that was super engaged, but also had a lay of the land, right? And so in this case, one thing I found really interesting is you guys seemingly are really, really engaged in scouting and in film work and knowing the players in your region. And sometimes I wonder, you know, how many programs are as vested as say you guys are with regards to that, and B, like if they're not, what incredible advantage, tactical advantage you guys would have every night out, just because you're so busy exchanging film, so involved in knowing who you're playing and what their strengths and weaknesses are, you know, comparatively. So yeah, incredibly impressed with just how on top of things you guys are, which I guess yields a 12-0 record, right?
Sicko.
Yeah.
I told you he's a sicko.
Yeah, as my wife would tell you, as I came back to Kentucky but practiced more, she's still up in Kentucky. So it's one of those things, man. I always tell my kids that it's a grind. It's an absolute grind. It's a 15-week grind for basketball. But we put as much time, energy, and effort to it as our football coaches do. Hopefully, breaking down film, watching film, showing stuff to our kids in practice and stuff like that. I mean. Our kids are bought into it. I think that, and I think anything that we can do as coaches to give our kids a better opportunity to be successful, we should do. I mean, we had coaches last year. I of course won't mention names, but I had a coach before. We're getting ready to take the floor, and he was talking about hope his team shoots well against our 2-3 zone, our matchup zone, and stuff like that. And I swear we never played zone 1 minute in a game the entire year. I mean, they had no idea they were going to press them man to man and run and jump and stuff. And it's like, it's like I told my coach, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, they didn't prepare for us one iota, and it's just sad. I feel for those kind of things, but we try to do our best what we can for our kids, and again, trying to put them first, and hopefully we do a good job of that.
Well, the crazy thing is a lot of their schools are paying for the huddle. They have the service. They have access to it. They're just not using it, which is just wild. But no, that is the job. The job is to put the kids in a position to be successful, period.
And the Beaufort one does a great job with all those games, but those are all out there also for you if you want to get another game. I mean, all the county schools.
Oh yeah,
you got those. I mean, there's so many opportunities to do that. Even if other coaches don't want to trade with you, I mean, there's other opportunities you can get and stuff. I actually contacted the Australian team that we play. I've not seen tape on them. I can't seem to get tape, but they're in the tournament up in I can't think somewhere in Charleston. Because they're on their coast. We're
Carolina
the last there.
Carolina Invitational.
Yeah, the Carolina Invitational. That is it. So they're playing East Carter, Kentucky, and I know their coach. So he's sending me the huddle tape after they play them up there. That I get that tape from them. So once they play them, at least I can get tape. So at least I'll have something live of them and see what they have. But that's probably my only chance to get something on them.
6 degrees of separation.
Exactly. Can't get away from
scouting report. Love it. Anything else, guys, before we let Coach Bennett call tonight?
No, looking forward to seeing y'all's progress. Should be a very competitive region with 3 teams that are sort of neck and neck right now. Congrats on the early season Battery Creek W. Get a little hardware there. And we'll see you down the road.
And I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate having me on, man. Again, anytime.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. See y'all.
All right, Kyle Bennett, May River boys basketball coach, off to a 12-0 start. Just won the Battery Creek Classic, and like I told y'all, he's a true hoop sicko. You guys would get along with him just great, sitting courtside.
That
He
man, that
also
should be the
Fish.
standard.
You and he also are similar in that you both just wear the refs out. Just wear them out.
I don't wear him out, man. I just try to help him out a little bit. That's all.
Oh, come
Give him a
on,
little
that man
different perspective on the
recognized you.
game, man. That's all.
That
But
man
hey, but
recognized you.
he should be. I mean, that should be the standard of your coach.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, there's no reason why I sit here and watch more streams than most of these coaches around here. I
Yep.
probably watch the streams like he watches streams. Like you can find any game, you could get well prepared. Like I watch teams lose all the time because they don't know how to guard these kids. And it's like, man, like what are y'all doing? That's the
Yeah,
stuff
and that was
that we talk about.
that was kind of the greater point of like was that's the so that there's takeaways from the last couple of weeks with the coaches, and I mean one of which was from the from Salk is what it takes, right? Is like as a kid to actually want to gear up and play JUCO ball or NAIA or D3, D2, whatever, like what it actually takes and what they're looking for. In this case, he put a lecture on about preparedness and exactly with the tools, software at his disposal to kind of break down film. So like if you're in their program, you need to be on board with that and being there for those breakdowns. So you know exactly what, again, if they're defining your role, now you have even more
Yep.
to see, okay, well, this is exactly what he wants me to do or why he wants me to do it or this sort of stuff. But
And they're telling
it's
you who you're going to be guarding and what they can and can't do for you. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, exactly.
that's a
Because
massive advantage.
yeah, he knows the region, he knows the people he's playing, he knows who he's looking forward to, what they play, what they don't play. I mean, you can tell like that's a guy who's that
Hey, his scouting report hurt some feelings at Hardyville, but ain't one word of it that wasn't true. But there was some harsh truths in there about what people could and couldn't do, and I think it was good for some of our guys to see that.
yeah,
Well,
I mean
I mean, yeah,
that's
that's the beauty of our game, though. Like
Yeah,
there's not gonna be one player that's good at everything. Like
right.
even the best in the world, they have their weaknesses. They have certain habits, certain patterns in their game that they go to. And so you
Right.
need to have a coach who tells these kids what they're good at, what they're not
Hmm.
good at. It relieves that anxious feeling. Like imagine
Yes.
throwing the ball to a post just because they're big. Okay, well, what if
right.
I don't ever work on a post move? Like you know how like sporadic I'm gonna be, or how anxious of a feeling that is.
Yeah.
You're throwing
Yeah.
me the ball in isolation when I don't work on this. I'd rather just go get it off the rim and maybe put it back in. Like
Hmm.
maybe that's it takes, but it takes what he does and going back and watching all this stuff and being in tune with your team enough to understand who they are, to where one that they know that you care about them enough that they buy into you, to where now they trust you, to where those scouting reports are even effective.
Yep.
Like I trust that, okay, coach said this can't kid can't shoot, he's not about to make 4 threes in my face. You know what I mean? Because there is that
Yep.
other side of being a player where, all right, coach, like, you know what I mean? But once you show that you care enough, like it's easy to get kids to buy in, man.
Amen.
Yeah, and I
And
mean that
and you're
level of
teaching
commitment.
IQ. You're building IQ for the game too when you go through the film and you break down the why, and now the kids understand what's actually happening instead of just going out there and
Yeah, you're coaching.
going through it blind. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
Yeah, you're
What were you
not
it's
just
saying,
it's
going
Robbie?
out there
original
whining
thinking.
about it. It's yeah, but he's solid, man. I
Yep.
enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I told you guys he's a true sicko. That man eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. Wife's still home in Kentucky. He just moved down here to start coaching basketball. Gotta love it.
Oh,
I mean
yeah,
that's
No, he's living his best life. We didn't get to talk about it, but he coached for years in Kentucky, and then he got promoted to AD and stepped aside as a basketball coach, but was the AD overseeing the basketball team, of course. But just couldn't he couldn't not coach anymore. And an old friend from Kentucky who was teaching at May River let him know that they had an opening, and he came down, and obviously he's got a hell of a plan. I mean, usually you think 3 years to really get a program in place, and for him to be where he is in year two with that whole freshman team rocking and rolling, beating JV squads is a big testament to the vision and to the support that the administration is clearly giving him to build it up the right way and the way he sees it.
Yeah, I mean
Those are,
that's the most important part right there.
Yep.
yeah, it is. I mean, having the
Hey, we've
backing.
we've trashed on some, so we got to give some credit where it's due. When the
Yeah, I
administration
mean,
says yes, we can field a freshman team. That's doing something.
well, I mean, you have to have the numbers to do it too, right? So, I mean,
Yep.
something's going on, within that district to encourage kids to want to get out and play and, feel like that they have a place to develop and get better. I mean, if you had said to
Oh,
me that anyone in the area could field a freshman, a JV, and a varsity, I would have thought it was wild. you know,
right.
but if they're pulling it off, and they're getting more kids to play and kids to get better incrementally, like on a traditional high school timeline, I'm not sure that there's
Right.
anything wrong with that. It would
I
just be
love it.
shock to the system for those parents who are used to their kids playing varsity in eighth grade or seventh grade
Right.
or whatever.
Well, look how much they're
Um,
in the gym, man. Like, I mean, they're practicing all this time that they have off. You give them a
Yep.
few days off, but they're always in the gym. They were in the gym all summer.
yep.
I mean, I got kids. I had parents calling me this weekend because they had to take their kids to Charleston just to get some extra training in because, like, is that type of
Because
effort
because
that
the
that
school's
to me
closed.
that to me is kind of just like him, where he can't necessarily bring Kentucky talent, but he can bring that type of mindset towards
Yep.
basketball. Just like I
Right.
can bring like a Charlotte mindset towards basketball. Rob brings that Maryland towards basketball. You know what I mean? Um, but shout out to May River, like you said, for embracing it, accepting it, and willing to do things that necessarily haven't been done in this area.
Well, it's just like I said, it's easy to see why they're having the success they are once you get the man kind of just talking basketball, right? And it's super
Yeah.
clear that they're more organized than the next program. I mean, as simple as that. I mean, I don't know exactly what everyone, I'm not even speaking to region, but just in general, my experience
Right.
with high school basketball within this area is that a guy who's talking like that is more organized than the next
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
like whatever the mean or the median has been, he's like
yeah,
clearly well above that. That we haven't
yeah.
had a lot of people come through here talking about, and Gabriel I think is on that level too at Bluffton a little bit. When he came in, it was kind of shock to the system too because he was talking about things that not everybody was talking about here.
Yeah, and I mean,
And so yeah,
there's different guys that have different confidence levels who do different things. Old guy, at prep, right? Who just left
yep,
prep. He was so system strong that it was
right,
always less about the scout and more about like if we execute what we're gonna do, everyone's gonna get
yeah.
caught up in our
They play
our
the game,
slog.
not the opponent. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it got to be a but that's not to say they're any less accomplished for not scouting at that level.
right,
They
right.
just it's just in general when you hear a guy like that sit down and talk, you now know why they're having the success
Yeah,
they are. And
exactly.
that's the stuff that becomes blatantly clear, especially as you have a cross section of these conversations across multiple counties, multiple regions. Now I'm over in Savannah all the
Yep.
time. I mean, there's only so many who are scouted that far in advance or are dedicating off days to a car problem or not to going and scouting games that, of teams you could easily pull their film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, he's a true sicko. We need more of that. But he missed a heck of a game, Fish.
Oh
Seahawks
man.
looking good in this tournament. I'm waiting on some video to download from Wes. It hasn't come all the way through yet, but we'll have some highlights at some point later on from this crazy game. But they got down early, had some trouble with the size, and then they got hot from three and got back in it, and then it was back and forth all the way down the stretch into overtime, and Hilton had a couple chances to win it, which
Yep.
they haven't won this tournament in forever, if ever.
Yep. Hey, no, I mean it took them some time to adjust to the size. I mean, Jordan Christian, they started a 6'2" point guard, and then I mean it was a 6'8" wing, a 6'9" wing, 6'10" big, and then probably 6'11" big is what they started. I mean, they was African. They was long, athletic. They talked. They played together. So it just took them a little bit. I think their size shocked them at first, but then they realized, okay, these dudes are kind of just tall. Um, and once they adjusted, I think that the energy that Hilton had played with was a different type of energy than honestly I've seen to this point. As I mentioned earlier, they got a new kid, a Venezuelan kid named Miguel. Barely speaks any English. Got a kid on the team. Just added another kid on the team just to be the translator for this
Love it.
kid. He's probably about 5'7", but he's a dog, man. He went in. He was picking people up full court. He probably had about 6, 7 rebounds amongst the trees. He was another ball handler for Hilton Head, which, like I said, pushed Tajay off the ball. Allowed him to become more of a scorer. Um, and I thought they fought hard, man. It was probably the hardest played game that I've seen throughout the week. I was honestly impressed, man, because Keita struggled big time. He was in foul trouble a lot of the game. Um, but yeah, man, I was very impressed by Hilton Head.
It's
You
gonna be a
you
good
just
region.
yeah, the night before you saw May River and Bluffton in what turned into kind of a weird game because May River had
Oh,
a
well,
pretty healthy lead at halftime and then kind of took the air out of the ball in the second half and Bluffton got back in it. But it was
so,
a
so
weird
this
game.
is a early grievance, man.
Oh, okay.
I hate,
Yeah,
I,
tomorrow is Festivus, but this is just a taste of what Fish has for us tomorrow
bro,
on Festivus.
I hate seeing teams just start holding the ball, man. Bluffton tried to start holding the ball against JP2 late in the third. May River started trying to hold the ball late in the game against Bluffton, and then Hilton Head tried to do the same thing tonight. Number one, these kids aren't talented enough to keep the ball for 1.5, 2 minutes plus.
Nor
Number
do they have
two,
the attention span.
Yeah,
that
no, that's right.
number two, especially in Bluffton's case, y'all already had momentum. Y'all were down early. They were down 14 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. They cut it to about 8 by halftime, and then they jumped out. They ended up tying the game, and you had Godson on the bench with 4 fouls, and then you just try to take the air out of it. Just kind of messed up some of the rhythm. I think that made the game a little tighter than what it should have been. Same with May River. Bluffton was down 8 late in the fourth. They just tried to start holding the ball, stalling clock, and your team, the aggressiveness stops.
Yeah.
And even as a ref, man,
You lull
psychologically,
everybody to sleep. You just and then you don't play
exactly,
defense.
exactly.
Need
Now
that
you start getting
need
all
that
the tic
shot clock.
tic tac.
We need a shot clock bad.
We need one
Yeah,
bad, man.
need the shot clock
Gotta stay
bad, man.
aggressive. Gotta stay aggressive throughout the game, man. Especially if
Yeah.
just do the things that got you the lead.
That's it.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
never good to slow yourself down. I
I
mean,
mean, I
you
get it with like a
spend so
minute
much time
15.
trying to get up to game speed and then you slow yourself down in the middle of it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Like I said, I get it with like a minute 15, minute 30 left in the game. Cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
go
yeah.
to third, like 6 minutes in the fourth,
Yeah,
like you
that's
put.
right.
Even end a quarter, if you want to hold it for the last 40, 45 seconds and play for one, go for it. But let's not do it for the entire second half because we're up 10. Yeah.
I thought the officiating did well this week too, man. I thought it was pretty solid.
Oh,
You
You
weren't
okay.
at the Hardyville Bamberg game.
No, minus that one. The games I was at. So the Battery Creek Championship, the Hilton Head
Yeah.
Championship,
That was
the
a pro crew.
yeah. Those were solid crews, man. Good game flow. I enjoy watching ball this week. I can say that.
Well,
Yeah, it was a good time.
who ducked out and played somewhere else and either did reputably or got waxed?
I know the Cross girls went out to Savannah, got smoked
They
by
lost by
Yeah,
one to Woodville.
yeah.
lost
I
by
don't
one.
think they didn't have the Maldonado sisters. They went to New York.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I don't think that first game would have made a difference. I think
yeah. So
they beat Woodville. But I mean Memorial Day lost by 20 to Groves the next night.
yeah, which is wild because I don't think they've been even close. Memorial's been beating up on Groves for a couple of years now, ever since Coach Grayson got over there to Memorial. So
Um,
that's a good win for Groves.
I don't
Um,
know anybody else who went out anywhere.
Prep
Yeah,
they went
Right?
Prep girls went across. I don't
yeah.
know about the
They
boys.
lost a couple.
They did. They were close though too. They lost by 4 to someone. Woodville, maybe? No.
No,
I'm
I know
not
somebody else. They lost
Yeah,
by a lot to Preston. They lost by
yeah.
4 to Effingham County,
Effingham County.
45-41.
Yeah,
Gave
yeah,
them all
yeah.
they
That
wanted.
gave them all they wanted.
Good scrap.
Yeah, good scrap. So that was, I think that's about it. You know, we got a couple going on at the Colleton Prep Tournament. Um, I mean, Battery Creek was at Hilton Head, right? So they take that win over Hilton Head, which is wild.
Wild.
Girls, yep.
Did
Yeah,
not see that coming.
yeah. And I mean, other than that, I mean, the girls' side is the exact same as it's going to be. We did have a big game this week between Beaufort and Whale Branch. I think Whale Branch came in like 6-1 or something.
Yeah, Buford
Uh,
whomped them by 49.
yeah, it was like 70 to something. Now, and
70 to
Nia,
21.
yeah, Nia went
Nia
for
went off, right?
33. Yeah, she
Yeah.
went for 33. Yeah, and it so
Fish
she was
saw a
gonna.
bucket today.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
what's her name?
Uh,
Kimura
Kamora
something?
Fields. Kamora
yeah,
Fields. My
yeah.
certified, my bucket of the week. Dropped 52 ball against some other team from Tennessee in the championship at the Seahawk Classic.
Cumberland County. Dropped it on Cumberland County, right?
I think she's the 27th ranked senior in the country, going to Clemson for all the Clemson fans. I mean, she gave it to you
Bradley
however you
Central.
wanted it. She gave it to you however you wanted it, from three, post you up, take you to the rim. Didn't matter.
That Clemson recruiting class is dirty.
Dog.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 kids. But every year, man, you got to give the Seahawk Classic. That was
Yep.
going to be one of my things. You got to give the Seahawk Classic some credit. Every year, at least on the girls' side, they come up with 1 or 2 kids who are nationally ranked big time kids. That run deep, right? It was Kiyomi McMillan a couple years ago, right?
Mm.
She was here. She was at Trinity Christian, or what is it up there?
Trinity Collegiate.
Yeah, Trinity
Yeah.
Collegiate. They came down and won it 2 or 3 years ago before she went to
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers. So yeah, they put on a show. When
Yep.
Rochester had the old Seahawk Classic and they'd gone to 2 brackets right after Island Rec opened, and they were doing 16 at the high school between the Aux gym and the regular gym, and then they were doing 8 at a higher level at Island Rec. That was super solid. 'Cause if you remember, Justin, when Hilton Head Christian was just coming off the island,
Yep.
and Hilton Head Christian did their senior year, they were moving mid-year,
Right. And
like
they played in the
literally.
Island Rec. Yeah.
They played at
George
Island Rec.
senior year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and like it was actually a super solid
It
setup.
was kind of fire because you could watch it from
Yeah,
upstairs on the
yep.
like
It had multi
the track.
levels. Yeah, it did. It was like, yeah, it was like being at Peach Jam.
And it was just
Um,
like so bright and well lit in there.
It's
It was a cool space.
very bright and well lit, and it does have pretty solid gym or bleachers. But anyway,
Yeah, it was
so
cool.
so it'd be great to see in one of these tournaments. I know all of them do it to augment their little programs here and there,
Yeah.
but with travel and tourism being what it is locally, and the models we've seen all up and down the seaboard, whether it's inland in Columbia with a Chick-fil-A
Hmm.
Classic, or City of Palms down the road, right? Or even like the Thanksgiving uh, fish and I looked at this a couple years ago, the Thanksgiving event down in Jacksonville for the girls, put on by Inside Exposure. Like events like that, certainly not as big as like Carolina Invitational, but you could do a boutique tournament and get Prep and Hilton Head involved in some of
Hmm.
the schools just over the bridge, and have a huge, economic impact for the area over the holidays. That would be, a pretty great thing in a time where travel and tourism is a little down in the winter
All right.
months, right?
Start planning it for next year, Robbie. The
Yeah,
1L
man. I mean,
Holiday Hoop Spectacular.
it would be pretty good, man. I mean, you could combine, you could have all different levels, right? So like you could have like a more of a regional, national level, get some high-end recruitable kids in here, and try to maybe get some marquee matchups and for the local kids, right, as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that
facts.
so that we could have some fun with all that. But
Well, we won't exactly have marquee matchups next week, but we will be able to sort through our power rankings a lot easier after the Bobcat Classic. We got a lot of
Oh,
local
see,
flavor
I
in
saw
here.
saw JP2 was asked to be out that tournament.
Oh yeah, I wonder who jumped in for them.
I don't know who replaced them,
Yeah.
Go
but
ahead.
allegedly can't have grown men calling kids names and handshake lines, bro.
Oh no no no
Oh,
no no
oh.
no.
Allegedly. Can't have that going on, man.
I don't know
No,
what
that's not right.
segment that goes under, man. That could be. That
I
could
don't know,
be.
but while we're talking Bobcat class, that's a little crazy.
No.
Yeah,
But no, that fully fits.
you know we're
Yeah.
not doing segments.
No, I'm saying that doesn't that's like its own segment. Like that's not
Yeah, that's a
previously
like
Cold,
named.
what's
cold in
that
the
segment called?
stocking.
Hey, what are we doing here? I
Yeah,
think
Cold in
that's
the
called what are we
stocking. Who
doing
gets
here?
coal in the stocking this year, man?
yeah. The
Coal in the
coal is
stocking.
a
There you go.
yeah,
Anybody
and I
who's talking smack to kids
fine,
in the
fine. So
handshake
like,
line.
so I want to know what's going on at May River on
Yeah,
the on the girl side of things. There's rumored coaching shakeups there. Don't know if anything. But the area is kind of wild right now, right? You're now at that part of the year where people who are disgruntled have now stated their disgruntledness to the powers that be at the individual schools that be, right? So now,
Yes, they have.
yeah,
Some have
so,
stated it repeatedly.
yeah, you have Facebook incidents this week.
Oh my
You have
goodness,
you have
popping off.
yeah,
Everybody's
popping
doing
off.
too much.
Yeah,
Doing
it's
too much.
it doesn't
relax.
matter if it's parents or if that's why it's great to have coaches on like we just did who are locked in, right, and like are making the main thing in basketball junk that's sort of just on the periphery that
Well,
continually
and
kind of goes on.
I, maybe I shouldn't go in this soapbox right now. I don't know, but it does seem to me that we've reached a stage where a certain segment of people seem to think that a coach who says "my way or the highway" is a bad thing. And I would say that in a lot of our experiences, it's like the only way. I mean, to a degree, like my way or the highway means different things to different people, maybe, but to me, it means we have a set of expectations and a standard that everyone is expected to follow. And if you can't do that, that's okay, but you're not going to be with us anymore. And that's like a kind of critical component of having a good team is that everybody is the same and we're all held to the same standard and there's certain things that just can't fly.
Well, and parents gotta understand too, man. Like, listen, just because you work hard
Right.
doesn't mean that your production outweighs somebody else's. It's
Right.
no different than if I could study my butt off for a test. Don't mean I'm gonna pass it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a prerequisite to okay, maybe to even getting you an opportunity. As a coach,
Yeah.
if I see you working hard, okay, you know what? I may give you more of an opportunity. But at the end of the day, you still have to outproduce the person that's in front of you.
Right.
Not like I'm
Yeah.
gonna
To
just
put
throw you out there
somebody
to
on the
stuff.
court, we got to take somebody off.
Yeah. So like, I mean, people gotta understand that part of it too, man. Like you get what you produce. If you're not productive on the floor, I can't play you. Regardless how much I like you, regardless how much I may even want it for you. At the end of the day, production gets rewarded, which is okay because you learn to play a different role.
Hmm.
You may not be the best at whatever in life. There's gonna be other people in front of you. Can you still sit there and support whoever? Somebody may have something that you want. Can you still go out there and support them? Do you still show up and work hard for yourself and hope maybe one day, okay, you'll get that opportunity?
Well, and if
Well,
Um,
that guy in front of you gets hurt or gets sick or whatever, are you going to
I don't
be
know what's
ready
going
for the
on.
opportunity or are you going to be sulking in your feelings and then that opportunity is coming to somebody else?
and I think
Exactly.
like there's a greater cross section here that needs to be looked at in the sense that we were talking about it last week. Like when you're hiring coaches to be around kids, to mentor, to guide them through these varsity years or whatever, develop them. You're trying to you have to get people who have a frame of reference for their experiences, who can relate to them in some way, shape, or form as well. Because too often there's this huge divide between the kids, what they're being told in their world and the gyms they go to, the places, they're getting feedback. And like what this high school coach who gets them for this narrow time frame, who's trying to construct a team and a competitive
Right.
program on a very limited number of practice days.
Yeah. 15
Um,
weeks.
yeah, and I mean, again, we just saw a guy, we talked to a guy who's incredibly engaged. And we know from doing the 1L thing that there are coaches in this area, boys and girls side, who are interested, who are in our gyms and who are just getting better and what they're getting better at. And when we use them at this, and that's appreciated because the goal here is to, if your kid first is, if we're training them up, say, for some period of the year, the goal is to have a relationship with the people who have them the rest of the year, so that we can
Be on
symbiotically
the same
work on,
page. Yeah.
yeah, be on the same page and get this kid moving in the direction that
Right.
floats the boat.
When we hand them off, here's what we've been working on. Here's what we think needs to come next.
Yeah, and
And
that's a preferred working arrangement, and that's one that hasn't happened for too long. And and I'm
yeah.
certainly willing to take my share of blame on the girls' side for that, for being polarizing, or because we do it how we do it, or whatever. But like at the end of the day, it certainly would benefit, but also it would keep the coaches engaged with the players and their people to the point where you know what to expect. I
Hmm.
mean, kids aren't just showing up and being like, I put in so much work, but it was across the bridge and in this back gym with this person who to that program, right? So now it's like, yeah, maybe you look better, maybe you don't, but I don't have time to. I know what I expect for something different in the limited time you get, and it gets to be a lot of times, heartbreak for the kid because they're just not really tied into what the expectation is for them. Those
Hmm.
boundaries haven't been established, how they haven't been is or their avenue, but all of that. But for the most part, I don't feel like the coaching staffs and or the parents and the people who get the kids are tied in enough to really like get a firm understanding where they are. Because I mean, that's one of those things where in this particular instance, and I'm not even sure what happened, but if kids think that they're higher in the pecking, the kids generally know where they are in the
Yeah.
pecking order.
Yep.
Like there's only a
Yep.
couple out there like, oh my God, I'm the best kid on the team when they're the 10th best kid on the team. That takes a certain level of like, um,
I think they always know where they are, but I think sometimes they get convinced that the reality is something different than what it is because of what they hear as soon as they get in the car or as soon as they get home.
right. And I think that that's the thing is like if everyone's on the same page and everyone's communicating, and whether it's summer ball or whether it's the kids trainer or whether it's mom and dad who train them in the backyard or whatever, and they're on the same page, hey, this is the way this plays out, then it benefits you more long run than, because here's the thing, these kids get all of a sudden they're here 2 3 weeks practicing, then the games start and little Johnny's not playing, or little whatever is not getting the shots that she thought she was going to get. It gets to all of a sudden be epidemic by like Christmas, you know.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, people. Let's just
Yeah.
relax, take a deep breath, keep playing, keep getting better every day. That's all you can do. It is what it is right now. Try to change it.
And
Um,
if and while you're getting better, like be smart enough to work on the things that you actually do.
yeah,
Like
be purposeful about it.
there's no reason for anybody listening to this. There's no reason for any of y'all to go in the gym and work on coming off of a ball screen. None of y'all come off a ball screen. There ain't enough space on the high school floor for the ball screen to go correctly. Most of the time, teams ain't even defending the ball screen how they're supposed to for it to go the way it's supposed to. Y'all ain't even spaced in the right spots to come off the ball screen. So go in there. You know what? Go work on making a wide open catch and shoot jumper. Go work on a one dribble pull up jumper. There's so many bricks. I just see
Go
brick
work
up.
on
Go
finishing a
work on
layup.
free throws.
Free
My
Yeah.
throws and
God.
layups. We leaving a whole lot of points out there on free throws and layups.
Yeah, we just gotta get off the Instagram a little bit,
Yeah.
because
Stay out of your bag.
the thing is, your highlight tapes fool nobody. They
Put
fool
your bag in
nobody.
the closet.
They fool nobody except maybe your peers. But if you
Yeah.
have
Oh, you
aspirations of
tough,
moving
bro.
forward,
You tough, bro.
your highlights don't fool anybody. Because inevitably somebody's gonna see you in a game,
Yeah.
and then what?
Well, the
You know what I
highlights,
mean?
the whole purpose of the highlights is to get them to watch your whole game tape.
But I
And
think it goes back to what Rob was saying too, though, about just being truthful with kids. And I
yeah,
think it starts with us, or supposed to be the ones who know what's going on.
yeah,
Like, if you're wanting to guide somebody, like, just be honest with them. It's okay. It's okay that they ain't that good at basketball. That it's not that deep. That don't mean they're not a good human being.
yeah.
No, that's right. And I mean,
I think we take basketball too deep
yeah, and
sometimes.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think we all been, caught up in it, or, you know, but like even I don't. Look. The thing is you at the end of the day, these are all functions that are devised so that kids can get the opportunity to compete and grow and learn and develop and
Right.
get opportunities they wouldn't have otherwise. Blah 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 blah. I think you want to honor the commitment to those who go the hardest. You don't want to honor, the
Yep.
lowest common denominator. And all too often around here, that's what it's going to be. That's why when May River's coach gets on here and talks at the level of preparedness, that I'm like, well, that is going to mess up the area because he, that's a guy who's like locked in and is checking it all out and knows what he's up against and knows what he has and, is prepared accordingly. Um, I'm sure has individual sets to get certain kids on his team, looks at,
Yep.
critical timestamp moments, right?
Yep.
I saw him
He
drawing up
does.
plays at the end of that Bluffton game, and he
Yeah,
was
he
telling
does.
everybody by name where they were going and
Yeah,
what they were doing.
yeah, it's just different, man. That's us stuff, right? That's like
Yeah,
that,
man.
and that's it's just different. Know what that looks like compared to, you know, stipend, you know, check coach and whomever else around here, and that's not even like calling out individuals. It's just sort of what you're in it for and what
Culture.
you're not
Yeah.
in it for.
Yeah.
And a lot of the ugliness that stems out of the area is now where the culture doesn't match the best kid and
Yep.
their family
Yep.
and how they push. And then there's all these other
Yep.
things that happen. We had this interesting topic that came up in our community a week or two back from a middle school parent of all people. And they were playing in a middle school tournament that had about 6 kids that were part of the 1L middle school girls, academy program that we had going on, mostly out of the Ville, last year. And and there was some real dogs in that program, like some really good young players, many of which are now part of the H2 2030 program and other programs. But the gist of it was in this one high school or middle school tournament in Savannah, there's going to be 6 of those kids, 2 of which are beyond game changers. One of which is like my team scored 35, I had 32, you know. And the parents wanted to know from me, and I posed this to you guys and really anyone else, what are the parents allowed to say and or what are is the kid allowed to say, because believe that if they go tell the coach, hey coach, in this tournament there's 5 kids I play against every weekend and they're all great, but 2 of them can just absolutely obliterate us. That instead of the coach thinking that's a wonderful thing, thank you for helping us out, we appreciate the scout, can you tell me what they do, what are their tendencies, do they go right, do they go left, what position are they, right? Instead of like wanting to know that stuff, they'll immediately be put on the defensive and think that this is a problematic relationship.
All right. I
Um,
mean, for me,
yeah,
as a coach, bro. I mean, I appreciate it. I remember when
Yeah.
JP2 got Dom in Savannah, and I had the Hollings girls told me because they play with him in the summer. Like what am I gonna say? Like, no, don't tell me about them. Like, especially if you think they're good. Like, okay, feed me that information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What?
I think any coach would
Yeah, they
respond
more
differently.
Coal,
than
If,
coal in the stocking.
more
yeah,
than
give
most.
them cold.
Yeah, yeah, give them cold, man. That's what I'm saying because this has actually happened twice so far this year, and basically none of them feel comfortable bringing it up because it would feel like they were one-upping the coach, and the coach would then feel a certain way. And
Oh
hey, look,
God.
these are middle school kids. So in Savannah, there's this trickle down where they're middle school coaches, right? So they're like that's like grandma retired who wanted to coach a little. It's not like a pro coach or anything. So anyway, I like that sort of stuff is
Grandma should
started
have
to
grown a
pop
little
up.
thicker
So
skin.
yeah, I mean, I think so. That's the stuff, man. You're running out there where that's why these kids matriculate to certain cultures that are in and around basketball where they answer hard questions, and
Yeah.
where they get trained up a
Where they
certain
go, oh
way,
shoot, we better come up
and
with
so
a
it's
game
not
plan
for
for that.
everyone, right? Like
Yeah,
right,
no, it's
and
not.
all too often they don't do that either, right? Like I mean, like I've seen it already this year, tons. I mean, there's the renowned people in our area who basically have no idea, unlike what we just heard in the early portions of this live. They have no idea who they're playing. It's all
Yeah,
about their system. And if they do what they're supposed to do, that'll be enough, and that just doesn't, that's not real. That's not the real world.
I mean,
Um,
I played for a
and
college
or it's
coach.
lazy. It's just,
I played for a college coach who had a massive ego and loved his offense, but we still had very in-depth scout reports, man. I think that's just what comes with basketball. If I want to be a good team, like I could love what we do as much as I want, but I'm gonna have an idea who we're playing.
You still got to defend them.
You know what I mean? I think that only
yeah.
puts your team in the best situation, but I mean, you got to have the energy and desire to want to do that, and see
Yeah.
what you do as being that important to put that time in.
And again, that gets to be about going back to hiring and admin, looking for people that have the energy and view that as part of the job description, as well as training on those days you're allowed to train in
Hmm.
August when you're allowed to have,
I mean,
three
even
in the gym.
Saturdays,
Uh,
man. Like you have no restrictions right now on days you can get in there. And like I said,
Right.
they're in Ridgeview
Yeah. In
having
season,
runs,
it's
doing training. They got the same rules we have. So why are they
yeah.
up there doing that? Like there's a reason why all
yeah.
these other places are quote unquote better. And everybody wants to blame how many people they like there are some talented people out here.
Yep.
It just has to get that
Yeah.
energy, match that energy. Like we're at the important stage of development. You know, I
Well,
think
and
it's that like we gotta develop, man. Put that energy in.
Oh man, the
yeah, since
holidays for a winter sport, the holidays are critical to
Oh
your
man.
development as a team because if you just let them go for 2 weeks, ooh, you don't know what you're getting back. You gotta, and that's when you do the fun things and you bond together and like that's when not everybody shows up to practice and you find out who your real dogs are and that's
And
that's the good
they
time.
run you to death the day after
Oh God, yeah.
Christmas. They run you to
Oh God,
death. And that's when you bond over the oh, we hate our coach. Like he's trying to you know what I mean? Like that's where all the bonding time comes, man.
yeah. Amen to that. Yeah, and then you
no,
come out
that's
stronger on the other side. But all right, what else you got, boys? Rob, you got any segments we need to do here at the end?
no, man. I don't think we need to get too heavy into it. I mean, like we had mostly the tournaments this week, holiday edition. Nothing too crazy. We have the various coaching stuff that's starting to percolate, um, rumors and whatnot, but we'll see if anything comes down the pipeline there. Other than that, yeah, I mean, May River's still going strong. JP2 girls look a cut
Yeah,
above, rolled through everyone, even though they weren't in any of these
Buford
tournaments.
girls.
And then they got,
Buford girls look pretty good.
Hey,
yeah,
yeah.
and I think actually JP2 is actually in that Colleton prep tournament, so they're not completely off. I think they're back at the end of the week. So, um,
Gotcha.
yeah, Buford girls are full strength again. They obviously look good versus Whale Ranch. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. It's interesting to see that we got that May River, Bluffton, Battery Creek triumvirate, sort of. Where May River win against Battery Creek, wins there, then gets to go against Bluffton, does the overtime thing. I wanted to see Battery Creek play someone. I wanted to see May River play someone. So them playing each other kind of set the trajectory of the week, you know.
Yeah, and
Um,
May River blitzed them. I mean, they looked
yeah,
solid.
yeah. I mean, other than that, on the girls' side, there's not much to talk about. I think we have three teams that are mostly
Yeah,
defeated, right? I mean, we've got Battery Creek who's got one win. We've got HHA who's got one win. We've got Prep who's got no wins. I don't, Whale Branch came out pretty good. Props to one of my most improved candidates, Khalees Fields there. She's averaging 10-8 or something like that right now. So she's very improved over a year ago. So love to see that. And we'll see, what as the region comes. I think the Bishop England game comes up pretty quick after the new year for Buford girls, so that'll be their real, test in region, I would think.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would think so as well. I don't know who else.
Yeah,
Colleton. Don't sleep on Colleton. Your girl Lily. Uh,
yeah,
they've snuck up on some people. They got some nice wins under their belt.
yeah. They do, and I
They
mean,
almost got Hampton the other night. Lost by 2.
yeah, I heard that. And they said that that was
And
Lily.
Hampton's
Lily was
undefeated.
actually at practice on. She was at training on Saturday, so that's what I'm
Nice.
saying. Like that's a reason. There's a reason the good kids are the good kids,
Yeah. Facts.
They just keep beating down the doors. But yeah, I mean, I think going into it looks like what we thought it was, right now.
Yep.
Um, and I don't
Pretty
think there's
much.
anyone that's really can storm the gates either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe we
Yeah.
haven't really.
I think Bluffton will get better and better as they adjust to the new rotation. Um, that's an interesting deal. Why you play that many games if you're gonna leave now like
Well,
that?
I know Aiden kept going back and forth.
Okay.
I know that he originally thought like he was gonna be there for the year. I know Carnell reached out to his wide receiver coach, asked if he could play. So they were
Mm,
kind of last minute type of things, and
I got
more
you.
so the issue is they graduated on the 19th. So
Yeah.
yeah, or the semester ended on the 19th or whatever. So
Yeah.
They want to win for the gray shirt.
Yeah. I guess
yeah.
they're doing the early enrollment thing.
Yeah, gray shirt.
Which I mean, if you're in a position to
I
do it,
mean, hey,
it
look,
makes
they
sense.
still have enough talent though to. I
They
mean, they
do.
could win the region.
They
Um,
they they could.
but I mean, even at the Battery Creek, like there was a different lineup every game. They've
Right.
almost had a different lineup the first 7, 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
So I think they'll mesh at some point.
Yeah. I think so too. Um, all right, boys. Anything else? What
No,
you
man.
got? Big Christmas plans? You guys gonna join us tomorrow night to fuss on the Festivus
Oh,
spectacular?
I'm actually going to Charlotte tomorrow. Now that
Oh
I think
shoot!
about it,
I'll be
Dang,
around.
we'll miss you.
I will be around.
may not. We'll see. See what I got going on.
All right, I'll make sure I hit you with that link. But all right, fellas, good times talking hoops with you as always. It was a good week out there in the gyms, and we'll take a few days off to rest up, enjoy the holidays, and we'll be back out there next week checking out the Bobcat Classic, and then we'll be into region play before you know it. So good times talking with Coach Kyle Bennett. He's doing a great job over at May River. We're happy to have him as part of this Lowco hoops community now, elevating the game for coaches in our area. So, and that's what we're trying to do here: elevate the conversation to elevate the area, really. So, good times tonight, boys. We will have a Loco Sports Lowdown coming at you at 9. A lot of the guys were out at that Seahawk Holiday Classic. Want to talk about that and set the stage for the rest of the week. So, we'll let them get on there and do their thing. If you need to hear more Loco Sports news, jump over there, 9 o'clock, Loco Sports Lowdown. But this will do it for this one. For Rob Benson and Coach Fish, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.